there were some questions and most of them were answered. There was a question from Kersti Kangro, and she asked what AC was generally best performing for Lithuanian lakes. And Dalia Grindaite answered that based on matchup analysis, they found that for lower concentrations, the use of top of atmosphere data provided the lowest bias, and for higher concentrations, SEN2 core provided the lowest bias. So they further on decided to use the SEN2 core data. I asked a question about the ecosystem services maps, whether they are available for the public. And Madli Linder answered that they should be available next week. And she should just keep an eye on Environment Agency's webpage. And Yekaterina asked whether Tartu Observatory plans to use ESTHub facilities in fire hazard risk assessment, and if yes, then how? And Lea answered that the statistical forest reflectance model developed by Andres Kuusk uses forest inventory data as input and simulates full HR reflectance spectrum as output. And any optical satellite could be used to compare measured reflectance with the model output. The minimum area to detect difference from forest inventory data would depend on satellite pixel size, and it is a new model currently tested with Sentinel-2 data from ESTHub and is hopefully used by state authorities in the future. And then there was a question from Yekaterina whether it is possible to detect snow by SAR data, which was answered by Antti that it is, that wet snow is better detectable by SAR than dry snow. And Peteris asked question, in Latvia, they have planned to set up 5 electronic corner reflectors for Sentinel-1, and if there is experience with ECR in Estonia, which was answered by Antti that they have 3 test reflectors, and that was all.
Okay, but I can clarify answer to one question, which was about this spatial resolution for detection of forest activities. So I can. Okay, I will share my screen. Is my screen visible? Okay. Okay. So about answering this question, here again a solution which I introduced earlier. Here we have year 2015, and we have in Estonia one little island called Vormsi. And if we look the differences in some forest areas in Vormsi Island and compare with this landboard Satiladu solution, for example, we compare differences within 5 years, but everyone can experiment and check some differences between weeks and days. But for comparison of 5 years, and just after one click, we can quite clearly see the differences. So there is no deep analysis needed. We just see differences in forest areas. And for the precision, I can zoom closer and you can see the scale left is 200 meters. And you can see even this in center of the screen, even some very narrow. I think these are broadenings of these cuts, and even these are visible. So in general, we may say that every region in forest, which is about 20 times 20 meters, this would be the minimum which is feasible to detect, because the pixel itself for Sentinel-2 is 10 meters, but the precision is twice. So 20 times 20 meters, and in this illustration, you can clearly see that all this is very easily accessible and viewable. So this was answering this one of the questions in the middle.